Be conscious. Be more aware of your surroundings. Stop being so blinded by all these distractions around us and find it in yourself that you can be yourself and perceive what you want to achieve in life as long as you know that you're self-aware of all your surroundings.
Gabago, over here.
The power of now, a guide to spiritual enlightenment. What is the power of now? None other than the power of your presence, your consciousness liberated from thought form. We are not who we think we are. We are not what we think about in our heads. It's that simple. We always assume that when we think certain things, that's our identity. But in reality, there is no identity. Our mind thinks of so many things, so much shit that we get lost in it and we become indecisive. And through that, we get emotional, we get disappointed because we don't achieve or succeed to the type of person we think we are. We are ourselves and we could be anybody we want. I'm not saying that. But all these thoughts in our heads, half the time is speaking gibberish. We got to learn to follow our intuition. I think that is what keeps us in the present moment. We don't hesitate. We don't become indecisive. We make educated guesses, of course. We plan things out, but we don't think too much on them. And if we lose, we lose. We win, we win. We keep moving on. But the fact that we were able to stay in the moment and stay conscious and more self-aware of our surroundings, that is what makes us special in our own ways. All these thoughts in our head, ain't nothing much we can do with them. It's all imaginary. We always thinking about the future, or we always thinking about the past, when all we have is now. The mind enjoys playing mind games. Half the time it speaks nonsense. It really does. And we become emotional off of it. We get angry when we think one thing and the other thing happens. We get depressed when we expected something in the future, but the opposite happens. Our mind is self-identifying us to believe that we are who we think we are in our heads. That's not the case. You want to find out who you really are? Search it inside you. Be curious about the world. Open your eyes to more things and stop judging everything you see. We become indecisive when we participate in all these games that our mind is playing. We don't want to participate in these games. We don't. It leads to bad emotions. It leads to negativity. It leads to suffering. And yeah, I guess you can say that we need that in order to balance out everything else. But when we dwell on it and we're not aware of the things causing that pain, we're going to stay in that never-ending cycle. We become searchers, trying to look for something that will help us to remove those negative emotions when the source of that is literally in ourselves. If we want to remove everything else, we got to look into ourselves and really study who we are. Really be conscious of ourselves. And through acceptance and through the present moment, you can practice to help find yourself.
Whoa, I didn't know you were bald.
Take action or learn to live with regret. It's that simple. Either you do it or you don't. Participate in anything you want to do. Don't think twice about it. As I mentioned earlier, follow your intuition. Intuition, I believe, is the core element to staying in the present moment. We don't want to regret not doing something. You know, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us have regretted not doing anything. But what makes us better human beings is, yeah, we regret it, but we accepted it. We learn to live with regret. If you're not learning to live with regret and not accepting your past, you're forever gonna be in this state of unconsciousness. You're forever gonna be emotional. You're forever gonna be dwelling on something that isn't real anymore. And you're forever gonna be anxious. Take action or don't. And if you decided that you didn't want to take action and you have that sense of regret in yourself, you know, learn to just laugh it off and be prepared for the next time around. It happens. It happens. You know, and we can't regret doing something either. Accept what has passed, you know, and be ready for the future. Because the future, honestly, is inevitable. We don't know what the future holds. Even if we prepare as much as we can, sometimes it wouldn't even be worth it because something will hit us out of nowhere. Just be in the moment. Appreciate what you're doing now. Appreciate the life you have. Appreciate yourself. And everything will come towards you.
Had his blanket wrapped around him, his head down. When he rode past, I seen he was carrying fire in a horn, the way people used to do. And I could see the horn from the light inside of it, about the color of the moon. And in the dream, I knew that he was going on ahead. And he's fixing to make a fire somewhere out there in all that dark and all that cold. And I knew that whenever I got there, he'd be there. Then I woke up.
You're not what you think you are. You are not your mind. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions, your negative emotions at least. That's not you. That's your mind self-identifying itself. Don't be that guy. Just don't. You know, we all have the power to find it in ourselves, to be conscious, to be more self-aware, to learn to live in the moment. The moment is the greatest gift we have because it's the only time that you can actually say is real. This time just passed by. This time just passed by. They don't exist anymore. The future doesn't exist. You know, so try to do as much as you can now. You can plan out whatever you want to plan out, but don't expect anything as well. Stop having too much expectations. I'm not saying to not have goals or not have a schedule, but not to get angry if things don't go your way. Life hits you out of nowhere. Life is unpredictable. But that's the beauty of life as well, too. It causes excitement through surprises. You know, if we look at it from that perspective, man, life can be an exciting story to tell in the future.
It says in these movie writing books that every character has an arc. You understand? Where's my arc?
So yeah, you're not your fear. Fear is only something that becomes an obstacle because you are not used to what's coming to you. You are unfamiliar with what's happening. That's what fear is. Once you allow yourself to just step into that shadow, you become that beam of light that reduces all the smoke around you. But you have to be conscious because if you're not, it's like you're just gonna be scared forever. Have confidence in yourself. Be courageous. And I promise you, it won't be that bad. Your emotions don't define you. Remember that. You might think they do, but in reality is that's not who you are. Who you are is who you are inside. And if you can find that, that's beautiful. Our bodies is just a representation of who we are inside. It represents ourselves in this physical world, but it's not who we are. Think about it like this. 100 years from now, none of this is gonna matter. So why not try to make the most out of your life today and strive to be the best you can be before it all ends? Sort of like a optimistic, nihilistic type of way of viewing life. It's now or never. Either you want to live with regret or you don't. Take action. And yeah, if you have some regrets in your life, learn to live with them. Find your arc. Find your arc in this world. Or don't. Time is now for you to tell your story. Be easy.